Welcome to Accounting for SS1 at Light Tech Academy. Today we study the purchases and sales daybooks. What are daybooks? Daybooks, also called journals or day journals, are books of original entry that record credit transactions where goods or services are bought or sold on credit, payment later. Important, daybooks record only credit transactions. Cash transactions go straight into the cash book. The Purchases Daybook, Purchases Journal. The Purchases Daybook records all goods bought on credit purchases. It does not include cash purchases. Source document, purchase invoice, received from the supplier. Format of the Purchases Daybook. Date, supplier's name, invoice number, folio, ledger ref, amount, Nigerian naira. Example, Purchases Daybook. Date, July 3rd, supplier, Chidi Enterprises, invoice no, C/045 folio, PL12, amount, 80,000 Nigerian nairas. Date, July 7th, supplier, Lagos Wholesale Ltd, invoice no, LW/210 folio, PL8, amount, 120,000 Nigerian nairas. Date, July 15th, supplier, Abuja Supplies, invoice no, AS/033 folio, PL5, amount, 60,000 Nigerian nairas. Total for July, 260,000 Nigerian nairas. Posting from Purchases Daybook to ledger. For each invoice, debit the individual creditor's account in the purchases ledger, also called creditor's ledger. At the end of the period, credit the purchases account in the general ledger with the total, 260,000 Nigerian nairas. Remember, buying on credit increases the purchases account, debit, and increases what you owe creditors, credit their accounts. The Sales Daybook, Sales Journal. The Sales Daybook records all goods sold on credit sales. Cash sales go directly to the cash book. Source document, sales invoice, sent by us to the customer. Format of the Sales Daybook. Date, customer's name, invoice number, folio, ledger ref, amount, Nigerian naira. Example, Sales Daybook. Date, July 4th, customer, Mrs. Fatima Bello, invoice no, 001 folio, SL3, amount, 45,000 Nigerian nairas. Date, July 9th, customer, Mr. Ton Okafor, invoice no, 002 folio, SL7, amount, 90,000 Nigerian nairas. Date, July 20th, customer, Kano Trading Company, invoice no, 003 folio, SL11, amount, 75,000 Nigerian nairas. Total for July, 210,000 Nigerian nairas. Posting from Sales Daybook to ledger. For each invoice, debit the individual debtor's account in the sales ledger, also called debtor's ledger. At the end of the period, credit the sales account in the general ledger with the total, 210,000 Nigerian nairas. Remember, selling on credit increases what customers owe us, debit their accounts, and increases the sales account, credit. The Purchases Returns Daybook, Returns Outwards Journal. Records goods returned to suppliers, goods we bought on credit and have sent back because they were faulty, wrong, or surplus. Source document, credit note received from the supplier. Posting, credit the individual creditor's account in the purchases ledger. Debit returns outwards account, also called purchases returns account, in the general ledger with the total. The Sales Returns Daybook, Returns Inwards Journal. Records goods returned by customers, goods we sold on credit that have come back to us. Source document, credit note issued by us to the customer. Posting, debit the individual debtor's account in the sales ledger. Credit returns inwards account, also called sales returns account, in the general ledger with the total. Summary table. Purchases Daybook records credit purchases source, purchase invoice dia creditors account /cia purchases account. Sales Daybook records credit sales source, sales invoice dia debtors account /cia sales account. Purchases Returns Daybook records returns to supplier source, credit note received cia creditors account /doctor returns outwards account. Sales Returns Daybook records returns from customer source, Credit note issued DR debtors account / CR returns inwards account. Remember, day books equals books of original entry equals record credit transactions only equals cash transactions go to cash book. Purchases day book / purchases journal equals records goods bought on credit equals source document equals purchase invoice received from supplier equals format equals date plus supplier's name plus invoice number plus folio plus amount, posting. For each invoice equals debit individual creditors account in purchases ledger / creditors ledger equals at end of period equals credit purchases account in general ledger with total. Sales day book / sales journal equals records goods sold on credit equals source document equals sales invoice sent by us to customer equals posting. For each invoice equals debit individual debtors account in sales ledger / debtors ledger equals at end of period equals credit sales account in general ledger with total. Purchases returns day book / returns outwards journal equals records goods returned to suppliers equals source document equals credit note received from supplier equals posting. Credit individual creditors account in purchases ledger plus debit returns outwards account in general ledger. Sales returns day book / returns inwards journal equals records goods returned by customers equals source document equals credit note issued by us equals posting. Debit individual debtors account in sales ledger plus credit returns inwards account in general ledger. Thank you and keep excelling at LightTech Academy, powered by LightTech Solutions Limited.